Welcome back to Clues, Crimes, and Cozy Times, the podcast where you get access to all of CJ Bellvue's mystery files for free. I'm Thea Graves, host of Factor Fright, and this is Percy. Tonight's investigation takes us to the historic Norwood Inn, where social media influencer Sabrina Sperling ended up taking a walk to a morgue instead of down the aisle. The official story is suicide. The locals say murder. Who's right?
Deadly
Let's find
Ever
out.
After. The Boo Files, Book 1, written by CJ Bellvue, read for you by 11 Labs.
Chapter 1. The staircase groans under our weight, each step exhaling dust and the scent of aging wood. My intern, Enid, follows with the boom mic, breathing through a makeshift mask fashioned from a bandana. Smart girl. Welcome to the Norwood Inn. I square my shoulders, smooth the lapel of my slate gray blazer, and survey the carnage of the old building as I stare into the camera lens. Brocade wallpaper molting in strips, dust already provoking my allergies, and a chandelier the size of a small SUV creaking overhead like it's considering a career change to floor ornament. But on camera, with the right lighting, the Norwood Inn can still pretend to be glamorous. That's the magic of television, a tight crop and an even tighter budget. Declan Hundell, my Sunshine Incarnate co-host, leans in, his fully caffeinated smirk perfectly in place.
Where brides check in, but don't always check out.
His flannel shirt hangs open over a faded band tee, one side of his collar folded under, dark hair sticking up in 3 different directions. His hazel eyes are bright and amused as he takes in the chaos with a delighted grin. Save the taglines for post. After 8 seasons of filming Factor Fright together, I should be used to his incessant improv. No matter how many times we reshoot something, it almost always goes off script. The audience loves it, but the editing is a nightmare. We reach the 2nd floor landing. Warped portraits line the hallway walls, their eyes tracking our every move. The bridal suite door waits at the end of the corridor, adorned by a dull gold plaque proclaiming the Stanton Honeymoon Suite in cursive that's seen better decades. I push it open. Arctic, damp air slaps me in the face, smelling faintly of lilac and old newspapers. Legend has it that in 1893, bride Hester Stanton died here mere hours before her wedding. The official story claimed she hanged herself from the bridal suite balcony using her own veil after discovering her fiancé's infidelity. Over the years, it's been called many things: a suicide, a murder.
Some even think a ghost was responsible.
Declan chimes in. Scoffing, I roll my eyes and smirk for the viewers. Whatever the answer, tonight we find out the truth. Or at least, which parts of the story still hold up under a camera and a little skepticism. I nod at Enid, but just before I can call cut, an ear-splitting chorus of girlish shrieks echoes through the inn. The suite door bursts open. 6 women tumble through, drenching my perfect shot in a waterfall of sequined sashes and plastic tiaras, wielding champagne flutes like medieval flails. What the hell? A woman in a white satin romper that strains under rhinestone lettering spelling bride across her chest strides forward. Glitter dusts her cheeks. Her tiara sits crooked in a nest of perfectly curled hair. She barrels forward and hugs me, hard. Oh my God, you're Thea Graves! I almost choke as I struggle for breath. The embrace smells like bubblegum vodka. Hi, I'm sorry, who are you? She releases me and I gasp, just managing to catch the name embroidered in glitter across the lower end of the sash as she spins dramatically toward a bridesmaid with neon pink extensions. Sabrina Sperling. Bride-to-be, lifestyle influencer. The kind of woman whose entire existence is optimized for engagement metrics. Hadley, the innkeeper's daughter, had promised me they wouldn't arrive for another 3 hours. Charlene, did you arrange this? The woman who steps forward isn't a girl at all. She's a good decade older than the rest of the bridal party, sharp-jawed and composed in a way that reads less bridesmaid and more chaperone. Her blazer is pressed. Her heels are sensible. A freshly pinned maid of honor sash sits slightly askew across her chest, the fabric still creased from its packaging. No, Charlene glances at her clipboard, brow furrowing. Jessica nudges Becca, stage whispering loud enough for the entire corridor to hear.
She's been like this since the airport. Full Lauren mode.
Someone has to be, Charlene says.
Lauren would have just let us vibe.
Jessica pouts.
Lauren is 8 months pregnant and on bed rest.
Charlene replies, her voice carrying the flat patience of someone who has delivered this explanation several times today. So you get me.
Lucky us.
Sabrina's already spinning toward the suite door.
My sister flakes, and I get her bestie as a consolation prize.
Charlene scowls and opens her mouth to respond, but Sabrina spins back toward me with wide, hopeful eyes. Congratulations on the impending nuptials, I say, brushing glitter from my blazer and waving the papers away. The bridesmaid next to me exhales and shoves them back into her bag. However, we are mid-shoot. Sabrina's smile falters.
Aw, but...
Before I can corral the glitter tsunami, Hadley Norwood trudges in from the side hall, eyeliner smudged, vintage Ramones tee stretched thin under a reluctant lilac bridesmaid sash that clashes with everything she is as a human being. She takes in the tiaras, the confetti, the kazoo clutched in another bridesmaid's hand.
Thought you lot weren't due till 3.
She says it flatly, raising a sharp eyebrow at Sabrina as she looks between the newly arrived crowd and us. Sabrina shrugs and bounds over, throwing her arm around Hadley's shoulders.
Change of plans, Hads. Content waits for no woman.
Hadley's jaw tightens at the nickname, but she doesn't shrug Sabrina off.
Sabrina, your mom's still setting up the welcome baskets downstairs.
Hadley says, directing it more at Charlene than at Sabrina.
She wanted everything perfect before you came up.
Mom can finish without me. I've been stuck in a car for 4 hours. I need content and champagne in that order.
Hadley catches my eye for a fraction of a second, the commiserating glance of one professional recognizing another's suffering. Then it's gone, replaced by the flat mask she clearly reserves for this particular bride. Ladies, I say, still smiling, we need 5 minutes of quiet to capture an establishing shot. Then the suite is yours. Deal? The bridesmaid with the champagne bottle-shaped kazoo salutes.
5 minutes. Starting now.
The sour note ricochets through the vaulted ceiling. I pivot toward my mark by the cracked fireplace. Enid, slate please. Factor Fright Season 8. Norwood Inn. Scene 1, Take 1. Enid crows. Deep breath. Meow. A black cat strolls into center frame, settling on the edge of the rug with a yawn. Wonderful, the local mascot. Aww. Enid melts. The bridal party squeals. The cat closes his eyes. Scene 1 is dead again. Pinching the bridge of my nose, I sigh, then turn toward Enid. Maybe some establishing shots will help. Enid, get a wide. Declan pans to the thermal display, frowning.
Blue spot near the vanity. 15 degrees cooler than ambient. That's unusual.
Drafty window, I say.
Windows closed.
He glances at me, something unreadable flickering in his expression. The cat pads in with his tail curved in a languid question mark. Sleek, self-satisfied, he lies beside the vanity, staring at the cracked mirror. Even the cat feels it, Enid whispers. Behind me, the bridal party has crept back to the doorway. Charlene stands at the front, one hand on the frame, the other clutching her clipboard to her chest.
So?
Sabrina asks, pushing past Charlene into the room.
Is it haunted? Tell me it's haunted.
I stare her down, then exhale through my nose. It's not. The mirror rattles. Enid yelps. Declan zooms in.
You see that?
Old hardware, I say, stepping closer. The building settles, screws loosen. It shakes again.
Screws aren't the problem.
Declan says, winking at the camera. I press 2 fingers to the frame. In the fractured surface, my reflection splinters into wrong angles. For a breath, I think I see something pale behind me. Then it's gone.
What about that?
Reflection distortion, I say. A trunk squats at the foot of the armoire, oak and iron banded. I cross to it, kneel, and flip the latch. The lid exhales dust and mothballs. Inside are delicately folded piles of brittle lace, discolored satin, and a veil yellowed to the shade of old snow. Historical artifacts, I say into the lens. The inn claims these belong to Hester herself, though provenance is harder to verify than the ghost stories.
Perfect.
Sabrina prances to the trunk.
Look at this vintage realness.
She extracts the veil, holding it up to the light.
Can I try it on?
That's property of the inn, I begin. but Sabrina is already placing it on her head. That's all for now, but this case isn't closed just yet. Join me next time as we continue to unravel this case, one clue at a time. Until then, trust the evidence, question the impossible, and remember, every ghost has a story. Good night, and I'll see you in the next investigation.